McDude, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sweet. I tried to mute myself and then I missed because then I realized that I had been on the wrong screen. You know, it's been a month since we've done this. So.
Wait, so I just mute myself in up here and then it's all good.
Yeah.
But the broadcasting chair is a little harder to run things from.
It is, especially when you've been out of practice for a month.
Just a smidge. Just a smidge.
Yeah. So, I've got our theme playing in the background, so I'll stop this now. This theme is so good. Okay. Alright, welcome to episode 12 of TyriaNow. He is Aaron, I am Miko, and we haven't done a show in a month.
Yeah, in a hot second. But we're back.
But we're back.
There's a lot to discuss.
We had I was sick, right? I had a migraine first when we were actually scheduled to run 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, and then I was unable to do the show.
Then we had grand plans for a July 4th stream. I was planning Sousa marches and fireworks graphics and everything. And then Aaron was like, "Actually, I got stuff to do later."
Yeah. It didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out.
So, but we're here. We're back.
Yeah. Yep.
We're ready to go. We're talking about Bash the Balance Patch, which, you know, we have these memester show titles.
They're good. They're good memes.
They're good. Yeah. And right now, parts of the Balance Patch I actually do want to bash. Parts of it I'm kind of like, hey. But anyways,
that's maybe my favorite thing about balance patches is that people get so angry about them.
I'm more concerned. If you hear a cat meowing, it's my cat, whose name is now Chaucer. Right, Chaucer? Yeah, he likes that name.
That's a good cat name.
It is, right?
Yeah.
And he's a
I was telling her all the things not to name her cat.
Yes. He's
like
no Frodo.
I said, do not name your cat Tybalt, for the love of God.
Or Ritlock.
Yeah, no Ritlock, no Tybalt, and no Frodo.
I had everyone in the virtually interrupted Discord was like, Chauncey Von Snuffles, and I was like, that's a good name, but he doesn't care for it.
Didn't like it.
No. Nobody liked
it. Do you have to throw names at him until he gives a meow, and then that's the name?
That was it. I was like, all right, well, I got to think of some kind of dapper names. And I was going down the list, and I was like, Chaucer's a good name. And I tried it on him, and he looked right at me, and he meowed a bunch of times. So I tried it again, and he did the same things. He did it 3 or 4 times. So I was like, all right, I guess he likes it.
Gotcha.
You know.
Perfect. Cat has been named.
Cat has been named.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So, so what have you been up to?
I've been basically just doing fractals in World v World. I did do PvP placements, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, gold 2, same as always. I get gold 2 every season, without fail.
So, I mean, that's good in that you haven't
dipped.
Not improved.
Yeah, I haven't deproved.
Deproved, yeah.
I'm just stuck in this Boon Beast Gold 2 wasteland. Do you remember, though, a couple months ago, they revamped the Eternal Coliseum PvP map to have more crap in it?
Yeah.
I like it. It's very nice.
10. We'll play again.
It's like a Boon Beast playground, because Soul Beast is all about kiting and being a troll, right?
Yes.
And so the more stuff there, it's great. I like it. So yeah, I found that out. I do fractal dailies all the time now. That's cool. Trying to get those infinite potions, right? I don't have them, guys. I know everybody's like, I got those in 2015. I don't have them. So, yeah, going after that. And that's pretty much my gameplay loop at the moment.
Sweet. Yeah. I've been raiding. It's all I do. And
Yeah.
I dipped into some. I did some fractals at some point. It's
You
all
do
over the
fractals with
board.
good players, which
Yeah.
must feel nice.
Yeah, I take in raiders, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah. It's an effective strategy.
Mm-hmm. We need to get you out of the pugging.
I know.
But I understand that your stream schedule is
Yeah, like
is not
I
conducive to having a fractal, a regular fractal schedule.
yeah, like I stream late and then I can never reliably stream at exactly the same time, so it's hard to have a static. But I'll have my little list of viewers that like to do fractals with me that I can pull from and at least get 2 or 3 people in.
That's good.
Yeah, it was nice. On my last stream, we actually had a really bad time of chaos because there were 4 of us that were like not nubs, but the instabilities were so bad.
Yeah, instabilities
Frailty.
can. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, frailty and guardian just not a good mix.
Yeah,
So that was cool.
yeah.
But yeah,
I'm still becoming, I guess, reacquainted with the instabilities because my fractaling is so infrequent that anytime I go in, it's like, oh, something has changed. I haven't been here in a while. That'd probably be why.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm really bad at looking at the instabilities. I usually don't notice them until I realize I'm dying a lot. Then I'm like, what's happening?
What's happening? Oh,
Oh,
instability.
frailty. Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Frailty and we bleed fire. What a fun combo.
Yeah. I know.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still learning fractals, guys. I know. What a nut.
Have you done any dragon bashing?
No.
I did some.
Yeah, you played Dragon Bash? All right, Dragon
Yeah.
Bash 2019. Let's go.
So I've been breaking pinatas. I haven't gotten close to finishing because I do it infrequently now. I did a couple of circuits seriously while I was working on the firework launcher one, the color the sky one, because that one was 150 fireworks launched or something like that, which I got tired after one night and about doing half, and so I finished it like the next night. But I did the arena. Went in with some raiders again, which made things nice. Always nice when people can break CC bars and know how to stack, and it's good times.
Yeah, so the Dragon Bash Dragon Arena is like a proper horde mode thing, right?
Kinda, yeah. You can just stay in there and let waves of minions keep coming at you. We would do it a couple of times just to get either dailies done or whatever. So I didn't go hardcore at it. Sleep.
Is it infinite or does it end? Like, is there
It
an
does
end point?
end. There is an end point. There were, I think, 5 bosses that you have to play, and waves of trash mobs. Basically, you've got like the Vine Tooth, a Hydra, the Eye of Zaitan, a big destroyer. So like a lot of the models are reused either from PvE. There's PvE content. So open world raid, the destroyer is straight up the same model out of Wing 6 Kadim fight. The Hydra, which you see everywhere in the desert. Eye of Zaitan, which you see out in Ore. The Vine Tooth.
Oh, okay.
Vine
So
Tooth
the
shows up
chat's
as well.
saying it is infinite, but it doesn't. The difficulty isn't infinite.
Correct.
So difficulty caps at 99, and then it just keeps going. Okay. That's. I'm sure a lot of people would like it to be infinite forever, but then it would just sort of hit a certain point of impossibility, right?
And
Where
I
it might
think
as well end anyway.
they can't. It's the same thing like what they did with the little mini raid, the Lair of the Snowman, which I think could have been harder. But you then run into the more casual player who doesn't do endgame, who then thinks that kind of content is hard. And from talking with a couple other people who went in with pug groups, basically, it could be a bit painful.
Chat saying that they wish the rewards were better for
Yeah, the wards.
high end Dragon Arena.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
It's too
Teapot
bad.
went to 99, and it took him like 4.5 hours. And he seemed to have a lot of fun with it, but
But like, just no real incentive
no,
to do that.
no, the
Other than
rewards are not all that. You know.
so, like, if you're not making that sweet content, then there's no reason to really do it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't touched it. I meant to do Dragon Bash this year. I was like, oh, let's, I want to get that 30K chest, right? So let's kind of make a push and actually do holiday stuff. Didn't touch it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't bring myself. Like every day I sat down, I was like, all right, just do the meta achievement. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I think if and they seem to have been listening to feedback on rewards lately. This next iteration of the world boss rush, which we're getting next week, they've added in Living World Season 4 map currencies as rewards, which is kind of nice. Something that feels a little bit more useful than guild banners.
I like the guild banners.
Do you?
Yes, I love having banner bonuses active. And since we got hero banners and spirit banners, first of all, nice. Spirit banners, what a fantastic addition to the game.
Yeah.
It's basically just an extra heroes banner. Mm-hmm. But I love those bonuses because I do things and they help you do things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now that they've given them out to every player literally in the whole game, they're always there. Like they're always there.
They are. I see them everywhere now, and I'm kind of like, well, someone put them down. Sure, I'll take the bonus. I forget to put mine down because where are they? In my bank.
Oh, I'm saving mine until they're not plentiful anymore. Then I will have them to use. Mm-hmm. I'm not using my own.
You just leech out everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Like chat saying they hoard theirs. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
But yeah, now I can run like 4 or 5 hours of World v World with banner bonuses the whole time. It's nice.
Which kind of segues into this whole. I mean, we were talking about this in your Discord a couple of days ago, of the frequency of the world boss bonuses that seem to be happening, which probably jumps us down into some other things. But
I mean, we segued to it, so we could talk about it now.
There we go. I like the idea of the world boss rushes. It just feels like they're hitting us with them a little bit too frequently to make them feel less meaningful, or it keeps them from feeling more meaningful or more necessary. I don't know.
So them doing this frequently, right, with the vanilla world boss specifically.
Yeah.
Because the second one was different because it was hot and POF ones.
Yep.
But with them focusing on the vanilla ones, there's an argument to be made for it, right? Because it's accessible to pretty much anyone who gets the game.
Yeah.
So they're using it to drive mass player engagement, right? They're using it to get bodies in the game. My argument is that it is not meaningful engagement. When you plop someone down in front of a world boss and tell them to hit one. That's terrible.
I mean, it doesn't. The world bosses, they're not difficult.
Yeah, they're not.
With a few exceptions.
Here's the thing: whether they're difficult or not, they're not fun. They could be easy. That's fine. I play easy content probably 98% of my gameplay, but they're not fun.
Yeah,
they're terrible.
The one time, I mean, and we did a cross guild thing with the World Boss Rush. I think this is the one where we spawned and respawned the Karka Queen to farm her over and over and over again. And because we went in with a large group, that was fun.
Yeah.
Because we did it as a special event across our guilds.
Yeah, and it was like an organized effort with friends, sometimes. Yeah. But I just feel like if you are going to say, okay, we want to put people in front of our game.
Right.
I think you should say what content will be the most accessible that they will also be impressed by.
Right.
Because it's not world bosses.
No.
World bosses are not impressive.
Now, I can see why they're trying to target the core or central Tyria because it is, like you said, accessible to the free-to-play players. And if you're trying to convert those dudes and ladies or dudettes over to the game to buy the expansions, then okay, fine. I just don't, like you said, World Boss is probably not the way to do it. Although it does raise the question of, well, what if they don't have the expansions? Are they going to get the Living World Season 4 currencies
Right.
as rewards?
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't just give it to them. They can't access any of the vendors they need to spend them at.
Right.
So I don't see the problem with giving it to them.
I mean,
I
then they'd be
think,
like, oh, well, I need to like purchase the Living World seasons off of the gem store, and the chapters are what 200 gems each, which is cheap.
well, you know what they've never done that they could achieve the same thing to drive mass player engagement towards maybe better content. They should do trial weekends for the expansions or
That
expansion
actually,
content.
and they, yeah, and they could pull it off because they've got the tech still from like when beta weekends were open to everyone.
Yeah,
For
just
the
give
expansions?
every single account a character slot that you can roll into an X pack if you want to for a week.
Yeah, that's a good
Like
idea.
if that
Hey,
doesn't
Net, pay
sell X
attention.
packs, I don't know what will.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right.
I mean, because Heart of Thorns it's a good expansion. Path of Fire is a good expansion.
Yeah.
So I
Can you
like that idea.
imagine like a free player, right? They've been tooling around in
They see
Plains of
people
Ashford,
gliding. They
right?
see all the mounts.
Yeah, and they're on foot in Plains of Ashford. Imagine being that nub and rolling a POF character and getting on a raptor for the first time.
We're getting to roll an elite spec
Yeah, I'm
where they
already
can see
getting
the
my wallet
difference.
out. Like, yeah, it's but instead they're like, let's put them in front of vanilla world bosses.
So yeah, I am wondering if what else is on the table, and this is a question that I have had for a while now. What else is on the table? Because world bosses are nice, but we need something more.
The meta event rush was a good try.
Yeah.
My problem with it is that it was weird the way they did it. They were like, well, you can do Octovine and Dragon Sand, but you can't do, or no, they you can do Tangled Depths and Dragon Sand, but you can't do Octovine and you can't do VB, and then you can do all the POF ones, but the ones that have 2 in 1 map, you only get one for that map. And I was like, standardize this for the love of God.
Mm-hmm.
There's Chaucer right
This
there,
is
guys.
Chaucer.
Mm-hmm.
Chaucer, say hello to the stream. He's
He has
purring behind me, so
a
it's
very
making
nice
me
bow
laugh.
tie.
Yes, he's very dapper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the mic can pick up his purring, but he's purring quite loudly and happily.
I think he's a happy boy.
Yeah, he settled in quickly, which is
Mm-hmm.
good. Mm-hmm.
And chat's pointing out that there's also Living World that should be bundled with X-Packs. I would be inclined to agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that they could do if they were to roll, a higher price. Why not? If you're rolling in the expansions, the expansions, the Living World episodes.
I just think that the Living World episodes are a huge barrier to new players. So when you buy 2 expansions, right, you're like, okay, I have the expansions, I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this content on the gem store that costs 200 gems an episode, and you're like, oh, it's just on the gem store. It probably doesn't matter. It's probably not a big deal. It's probably not a lot of content, right? Maybe a couple quests. When what they don't realize is a season of Living World is an expansion.
Yeah.
Like it is an expansion that you get for $10,
Right.
and it's absolutely necessary for experiencing the game to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
It's not marketed that way. It's just
No.
like, here's this crap on the gem store if you want to get it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's piecemeal to you. Like, it's like you can buy season 2 and you can buy season 3 and you can buy season 4, right?
The voice.
It's like, just.
I'm sorry, that just made me laugh.
They need to. There's so much wrong with how they peddle Living World.
It could be improved, and I think that these are good ideas. I don't know if they're ideas that have been pitched to them. I would hope that someone has, and if not, Aaron, get on the forums. Send them an email.
Oh my god, the forums.
But yeah,
Hey,
no, I
they
mean,
released new form avatars. Oh boy.
they did. They did.
I
They were
didn't even,
created. They were created by the creative partners, which are the
I'm
fan
sure they
artists
were.
that are
I'm
partnering.
sure they're great. I didn't even put it in the show notes because I was like, neither of
No,
us.
they're you know they're pretty. They're nice.
Hmm.
I mean, I go to the forums so infrequently to actually post. I just go to actually look and then I start seeing posts and then I'm like, yeah, okay, this is why I don't come. Click, close the
Hmm.
window.
Yeah, I don't check out the forums, but yeah, I think they're going about I think they're pushing the wrong content with the world boss bonuses, basically.
And the point that we brought up somewhere in your Discord was that the I don't know the push to free to play players feels like what NCSoft does with other some of its other titles. And where are those other titles? Because did you put in the show notes the quarterly report earnings
I
income?
I didn't because it was from a few days ago, and I also like it just looked like a can of worms.
Oh yeah.
Kind of.
So sales are slightly up from last year, but overall they're still down. So
Yeah. Well, because I was reading the Reddit comments on that, right? And I guess what because I don't know how to read earnings reports, right? But I
you
guess
look at the
according
bar
to Reddit
graphs.
comments, what you do is you compare quarter to quarter, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you Q1 2018 versus Q1 2019.
Yeah.
You wouldn't compare Q4 and Q1 because those are
Yeah.
different.
Right.
So like apparently we're up quarter to quarter, but over the whole course of the game we're down,
Right.
basically.
Right.
Which doesn't surprise me.
No, I mean it's a 7-year-old MMO next month.
Actually, to be fair, Q1 2018 would be coming off of Path of Fire launch. If
Yes.
we're up from there, the game must have dropped off very quickly after Path
And
of
we've
Fire.
also got in Q2, which is I think this earnings report came through. It we had the layoffs,
Hmm. Yeah,
so uh, you
that's
know,
also true. A lot of times, layoffs like that are done specifically to pad quarterly numbers to make them look better. So,
so I'm hoping that the next quarter looks better. But I don't know that world bosses will be the way to do it. I
well,
think
we
they've got to. I think they've got to bundle. They've got to do things to incentivize purchasing of the expansions in a different way.
I mean, I know we're not at Jump Store yet, but you see what they did? They put out these bonuses, and then oh, guys, we've got something in the Gem Store. You know what would
What?
make waiting for those world bosses better? You had a chair. What if you had a chair that could fly?
What if you
That
had
would be a cool. That'd be a cool way to wait for world bosses,
the
wouldn't
world boss portal device, 400
it? Right?
gems.
Yeah. Oh, we've got our little world boss portal
Shared
device. Yeah.
inventory slots are on sale today, right?
Yeah.
Today
Oh,
or
yeah.
yes.
You can stick it in your shared inventory. Yeah. Then I hate this game.
I mean, you know, just give us a sub fee at this
We'll talk
point.
more about that when we get to the gem store section at the end, guys.
Okay.
Stay
Okay.
tuned for memes.
Anyways, have we bashed the? I don't know. I'm excited in the sense only because they've improved the rewards, and I will probably because I'm still I'm still working on Skyscale.
Oh
I
boy, no sky scale yet.
no, I rate a lot, and last week when I was like, oh, I've got a 4-day weekend, I'll go after the Skyscale. I was like, yeah, it's kind of nice not to log into the game. I can chillax and watch TV
Even if
or
even
knit
if
or
you are
something.
logged into the game, it's kind of nice to not go after the sky scale.
Yeah. You know what I did? I leveled a warrior. I leveled a warrior. I played through. I did some figuring out of warrior, which it's a class that has never really clicked with me. But for some reason this time it was clicking with me again, or for the first time, and so I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'll continue this, and I did, and I got it to 80, which is yippee, and easy because you can just boost up between levels with all of the copious amounts of scrolls and tomes they throw out. Veterans.
Oh yeah, I just had a birthday today. Fresh, easy
Happy
level
birthday.
60 scroll.
There you go. And some dice.
Yeah.
The amount of die kits that I still have unopened from characters and birthdays.
It's actually not a bad idea to save them, because if you ever need an expensive die, chances are it'll be in there. It's actually a very good idea to save them.
And was it last year that we were able to get permafrost?
Yeah.
That was nice.
Permafrost for our 6 birthdays. I actually unlocked pretty much that whole Jormag die kit. It's such a good die kit.
It is. It's very nice.
It's lit. Yeah. But yeah, that moment when your veteran players would rather level another warrior, not their first warrior, a second warrior, than do the freaking sky scale.
And it wasn't even like I was at that point. I was like, I could just buy the grow lamp, because that's where I was.
How much are grow lamps now?
They're still around 30 gold.
Yeah, that's about how much.
And it's not like I don't have the gold. I could have just thrown it and it's like, give me my thing and let me just continue on. But I was like, I'll just charge my crystals up in my home instance every day for 10 days or whatever I was missing, and continue leveling my warrior. The thing with the sky scale to me is that because it's a collection and it can be done pretty much solo and over time, I feel no compulsion to go after it hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the mastery points to like max level all of its masteries, but I'm just kind of like, all right, it'll happen. And it's okay. It feels nice to not chase after something hard, which it's been a while since I've done that.
Chat saying the sky scale is pretty nice. I'll be honest, it's probably the mount I use 90% of the time now.
Yeah, that's what who was it? Kate was saying as well.
Yeah.
That she uses it pretty much exclusively.
It's just so clunky to use. Like it is the best mount, but it's so clunky.
Yeah.
Taking off at the speed of a lawnmower, like
it doesn't, I mean, it's like a helicopter, literally. It kind of goes up.
Yeah, it is.
But it's the AFK hover. It's the latest EP.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I am okay with mine. I'm not even, since mounts aren't like other games, right? I don't really get that up in arms about like, ooh, I've got my sky scale, right? Like, it's not like you can get a super cool mount in Guild Wars 2 that actually means something. Right. Everybody has the same mount, so it matters, right?
Yeah. It's when they release the skins that everyone's like, ooh, look at the skins that he's got.
We'll talk about that in the jump start section. I have words.
Okay. So yeah. So yeah. I don't know how we started talking about this, but we did.
World Boss Bonus Week.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting my currency because I haven't done that yet for the sky scale. That was that. I went. Yeah. I knew there was a connection somewhere that happened.
Yeah, basically, ArenaNet axe the World Boss. Actually, no, what? Keep the World Boss Bonus Week for people who want to do it, but try something else.
Yeah, and we should be getting the Queen's Gauntlet and the Bazaar of the Four Winds soon.
Yes.
Which should be fun.
That is a fun event. I should probably actually do the Bazaar of the Four Winds meta this time.
You should do the bosses.
I've done it. I beat it last
stream.
Yeah.
Sweet, nice.
I got my Kingslayer title last year. Yeah.
Very nice.
They'll probably add new bosses this year. If they don't, then what are they doing?
Did they add new bosses last year?
Yeah, Tirai also was new last year. Actually, there was a whole round of new ones after Liadri last year.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe they will add new ones this year.
You remember that terrible Scrapper build that I insisted on playing for the longest time with the dual pistols?
Yeah.
I one-shotted every Queen's Gauntlet boss on that build.
There you go. Give me that build. I gotta unlock Scrapper.
It's very good for Queen's Gauntlet.
There you go. Trick builds, man. It works.
Yeah, they don't balance for that shit.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. So we talked Dragon Bash. One thing that we didn't mention the Dragon Bash thing was the Dragon hologram generator, which you can get as a guild decoration. It costs a crap ton of Jawbreakers, but is apparently really cool. I'm in a couple of guilds that have it, and I have yet to go into their guild halls to go check it out.
It's big. It is what people like about it.
Yeah.
And 100 Jawbreakers is a lot. I don't know what the Zytaffy Jawbreaker crafting breakdown is, but it's a lot. 100 Jawbreakers is a lot.
Yeah.
So that's cool that they've actually gone back to something guild related, even remotely, right? Because
yeah,
guilds have
and
been
that isn't just
for
a
long
guild
time.
decoration that you can get out of a raid.
Huh? What was that?
That isn't just a guild decoration that you can get out of a raid or out of like Super Adventure
Yeah.
Box or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I don't know.
Absolutely. Because like I said, the guild system has just been dead in the water for so long.
It has, and it's kind of sad. I would
Yeah.
like to see something, even though I still am working on leveling our guild. But hey,
Oh, I'm not in any max level guilds. All of the guilds I'm in are at like level
I need
35.
to run guild missions for ours because we are out of favor. I have all of these upgrades that are ready to go, and I have no favor.
Just run guild treks every week. Just do the max level trek.
I know,
You
I
get
need to
3
do
people,
it.
you can finish it.
I know. I just need to do it.
Yeah.
All right, so other things happening in game: the WVW Core Swap special event, which is going on or was going on until yesterday, which I was actually interested to see, and then it didn't play over the holiday weekend. But you went in.
Yeah, I've been doing it all week.
I heard it was kind of fun.
It's not bad. It's not a bad concept. At first, I went in and I didn't care about it at all. I was like, I'm taking my double because I want to get that rank 2K, right, for that sweet
for your
tentacle
armor.
But so I was like, okay, I don't really care about this special event. I just want my double world XP and my plus 25% reward track, and I'll be on my way. But then, like, eventually you'll end up killing someone and you'll run over their little thing and you'll get there. So what you get is a special action prompt, and you can hit it, and your utility skills swap over to a predetermined set of core skills for that class.
See, my understanding was that you would get their utility skills but also keep yours. So you lose yours then.
You cannot use them at the same time. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So their bar will replace yours, but it's an instant swap. It happens right away.
Okay.
There's no lag or anything.
Uh-huh.
And then you can use, but they all start on cooldown as well.
Okay.
So you'll swap to their skills, and most of them are on cooldown. I think the only one that's not is the heal skill.
Okay.
And you can pretty much use them at will until you swap back. But once you swap back, you lose those skills.
So how do you swap back?
Just special action.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Some of the skills they gave us aren't terrible though. They're not bad.
Because they were like core class skills. They weren't like elite spec skills.
Yeah, just core class skills. But a lot of them are good. They gave us really good skills to just swap to, pop cooldowns, and swap back. That's how you're supposed to play this. You're not supposed to sit in the utility of the other class. You're just supposed to pop it on, toss them out there, and then pop back off of it. Like engineers get supply drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they get elixir S too, which is kind of
a
big move. But yeah, so you can just pop into engineer, slam them with supply drop. They're not expecting that, right? I'm a ranger, and then swap back and rapid fire them to death. Yeah. It's great.
And Arctic brings up the thing that I was actually thinking, that the swapping thing must have been for testing purposes, because that's what I was wondering. It's like, what are they prompting us for? What are they
build
preparing
templates?
Us for? Is it build templates? Is it?
I don't know. I don't think we're getting dual professions, guys. I wouldn't hold your breath.
dual professions in Guild Wars 2 would be kind of cool.
It would be
a little
really stupid.
Could you imagine trying to balance that?
Yeah, it's impossible. Which it begs the question, right? In the interest of keeping the game alive and going and profitable, would they ever just say like, screw the balance? We'll just let the power creep go in full swing and just crank up the gem store and let people have dual professions and call it a day. Like, yeah, at first you'd be like, no, that would kill the game. Why would they do that? But if they thought that it could keep the game going, maybe they would just toss balance out the window and be like, have the dual professions. No, we're never going to update again. You never know.
I mean, we keep saying that we haven't hit Kantha yet.
I've kind of lost hope, honestly.
I still hold out hope because it's the continent we haven't been to, and it's what's missing from the franchise's history, right? It's like, just give me back my Cantha Man.
And Chad does make a good point in that they find that it almost doesn't matter because all the classes are almost the same anyway. Which I kind of agree with in the sense that every class can do everything.
Yeah.
You know?
That was kind of the point of the game.
Yeah.
Before Elite Specs happened.
Begs the question, like, why do we have classes? I feel that way myself sometimes. When people come into my chat and they're like, hey, what class should I play if I want a DPS? And I'm like, I don't know.
Any. Whatever you want.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know which one do you like.
Go do that one.
Yeah, right. And it's just like, support's the only place anymore where class actually matters. And support is only really relevant in fractals and raids.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this could be experimenting for dual professions. I don't think so personally, but it's entirely possible. But yeah, it was fun.
I would like to know what it is that they're testing with this.
Mm-hmm.
So
it could just be a more robust version of that they want. You know what it could be? It could be for story purposes. Even they like to do funky mechanical stuff.
They did when was that, season 2 when we got to play as Kaith. We got her OP thief skills, and I was like, I want these thief skills.
It could be an interesting. Think of it in PvE terms. What if they applied the special action key skill swap mechanic to boss fights? What if they brought it into raids? So in a raid, you've got to like, there are little orbs on the ground, and you can run over them and get a new set of utility skills, and you have to use that to approach the raid encounter. That would be cool. That's an ArenaNet ass thing to do too.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So like
that makes me excited.
Yeah, there's all sorts of different reasons they could be trying that out, but it does smell like something they're testing. Yeah, it totally reeks of testing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I liked it. I heard some people said there were bugs. It went smoothly for me. I did it several times. It went super smooth.
Yeah.
My favorite set of skills was probably Engineer, Supply Drop, Elixir S.
Well, and you've played NG a good deal.
Yeah, and you get Rocket Boots too, which is just a nice leap finisher. Yeah. So it's nice.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad. And I got a lot of world XP and a lot of world ranks out of it.
Good. What are you up to now?
1595.
500 more?
400 more.
400 more.
Yeah.
I can do math. I'm an English major. This is where my cat's called Chelsea.
I'll get there eventually. I didn't get to play it as much as I wanted to, but yeah, it was fun.
Good. Well, I'm glad that it went well. Can we skip balance for a second? Because I think that's going to take us forever.
I know. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm relishing talking about literally anything else.
All right. Well, the next item on our thing then is the name the new competitive weapon set thing, which is when I first saw it, I was like, oh, they're doing a new name a new weapon set or design a new weapon set thing, because that was actually kind of cool.
And then you found out that they already named it and that you just get to pick from the lame names that they came up with.
It was a bit like name the things in Lion's Arch after the rebuilding of Lion's Arch. Do you remember that? You wrote about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is what you're giving PvP? Okay. And I don't PvP, but I feel like that game mode needs a little bit more of something, I don't know, something a little bit more to make players feel like it's worthwhile.
And here's a crazy concept. Imagine if ArenaNet did like weekly bonus events that gave bonuses to certain game modes.
I'm kind of surprised that they haven't done a PvP one. They haven't really done a PvP one in a while.
They've never done one. They've given us like 4 World v World ones and like 10 PvE ones. They've never done a PvP one.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know, but it's lame. Because that's the type of thing that would make me be like, oh, maybe I'll go play PvP this week then. Because I'm down to play PvP. I just would rather play other things, right?
And from what I hear from people who actually play PvP on a regular basis, is that the PvP scene or the PvP game mode is quite good in this game. And I don't PvP all that much. I find builds that work for me and then I go in. but it's not a game mode that's ever really attracted me, interested me. I mean, you PvP a hell of a lot more than I do,
And I don't really PvP at all.
and you don't really PvP at all.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like what they wanted for PvP at launch was this competitive esports thing that just kind of went away, and now it's on automated tournaments and seasons.
And chat is making the point that they've done double rank and double glory in the past. They have. Yeah. Like, I mean, to the point where we don't even have glory anymore, right? It's not a thing. So that's how long ago that was. I mean, like, in this current climate, 2019, of doing bonus event after bonus event after bonus event, they haven't touched SPVP with this new wave of bonuses.
Which is surprising.
Yeah. And so instead they're like, hey, name our new weapon set. I thought it was going to be like, oh, let's all submit, like, a name.
Designs or, like, something cool.
Like, at least, like, type in the name of the weapon set you'd like to see in the forums, and they choose from, like, the responses. But instead, they're just like, okay, here's a predetermined set of really boring names that we came up with, and you can pick one. And I'm like...
Name Destiny's Edge 2.0. What's their guild name going to be?
Right, yeah, exactly. And the names they chose, like, I don't have it pulled up. They're all just, like, the champion weapon set. The
Miss Champion's dagger, the Miss Lord's dagger, the Gilded dagger, the Elegant dagger.
Does it matter?
Examples.
It could be any of those.
Yeah.
Does it matter? They're all the same.
I know. I was like, well, these names could have been a lot cooler. These are not... I don't know.
Like, I wrote it in the show notes. I was just like, is there a point to this?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I did the same thing, and I'm not a PvPer, and I just kind of went, what?
Yeah. What's the point? You could name it. You could close your eyes and pick one off that list, and it would change nothing. Yeah, I just thought it was a really lame idea. I don't know.
All right. Well, I think we're agreed on that.
Yeah.
You know what it's time for then.
Balance patch.
It's the disclaimer, guys. This is the part of the show where we tell you all that we are not theory crafters, nor do we play them on TV. So here we go. Look at that. The switchover worked well this week.
Miko knows a lot more about build stuff than I do.
Not really. I only lead raids. I know stuff a little bit. Just I know my class. All right. So something happening. We're getting a balance patch, which for some reason I had in my head was only going to be a PvP, WW, style balance patch. But no, I don't know where I got that idea from. But it was in my head, and when this came out, I was like, no, please no. So, all right. So a balance patch is coming, and they lead up the line. We're continuing to create the promised trade-offs to some elite specialization lines. Yes, okay. With changes to Chronomancer Shatters. And I went, oh, okay. An overhaul of the Scrapper specialization traits. And I went, okay. And some improvements to base Necro Death Shroud. Because base Necro Death Shroud is actually not bad. So,
it's very tanky.
It's very good. I love it. All in order to make the choice of an elite specialization more meaningful. I don't know, man. Okay.
They throw that word around a lot. Meaningful.
Yeah, make your choices meaningful.
I think that is one of the most jargon words that it exists in the English language.
It's obviously a word that gets used internally a lot, and it means something to them. So what then we have to do is parse what it means to them.
Yeah, it's such a subjective term that it's like, what? Just because you don't like, hell, choosing Scrapper was meaningful, right? It meant that you got a crap load of barrier and you could heal people. You can't do that on Hollowsmith. You can't do that on Base Engineer. How's that not meaningful, ArenaNet? I'm sorry, I'm done.
All right. Elementalist changes are happening. They're making changes to how core elemental specialization lines work. Weapon cooldown traits are being merged into the Grandmaster minor traits.
Does that mean the non-choosable trait, like the little one?
Yes.
So now you get a weapon cooldown that you don't get to choose automatically based on your attunement.
Yes.
That's garbage.
So if you attune into that, so say you tune into earth, which are not earth, fire, which everyone does because fire, lots of burning, lots of damage.
Yeah.
So your cooldowns for those skills will be affected. All right, great. Thanks.
Mm.
Um, I
I
don't
just
know.
feel like they're trying to pigeonhole you into playing a certain weapon with certain elemental, which is I feel is counterintuitive to the idea of an elementalist.
So here's the thing that made me sit up. Overload air. Do you remember that skill that we loved so much when it first came out? I know
Yeah,
you
Overload
did.
Air is amazing.
Yeah, and then they nerfed it.
Yes, and it's still fun.
It's still fun. Well,
Yeah,
it's getting a damage increase, 20%.
nice,
20.
nice. That's actually significant.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Why did you
Yeah,
nerf it? Um.
right.
I,
They're like, sorry about that.
so, I mean, Tempest being a thing that is being meta for DPS and support again, not just support, is been really nice to see. At least in my raid life. So I've seen people on Reddit losing their minds over these Tempest changes. I've seen uh, people who actually play them and don't go to Reddit be really happy about these changes. So I'm not sure. I think that Elementalist is one of these classes that tends to get touched and nothing ever really. It's always going to be Elementalist good.
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell me otherwise,
it's always going to be the most versatile class that's pretty much good at everything it's capable of doing.
Yeah.
Super high DPS, super high end healer.
Yeah. And then
super booty if you want it to be.
Yes, it is very super boony. It's good. And changes that make it heal even better. Why? Because it's not good at healing already? Okay. I don't know. All right, sure. What? Okay, I'm moving on.
See, that kind of just summed up my entire reaction to every balance pad.
So engineer function gyro to be more of a core mechanic and unifying some of the disparate themes present in the trait line. So function gyro now is going to be an F5 ground target.
Okay. So instead of if you need, for instance, where I find the most functionality of function gyro is rezzing people, or if you're in PvP, finishing people. So have to ground target that instead of simply hitting F.
Say that again, because I was just paying attention to chat and I've lost you.
So the main use that I find out of function gyro is rezzing people.
Yes.
Or finishing people in PvP. It can do that too. So now instead of just hitting F, I have to ground target that.
Mm-hmm. Ground targeted skill and F5 slots, which can be enhanced.
It's not the worst thing in the world. It makes it easier to choose what your function gyro does.
Yes.
But it makes it a little less quick on the draw.
So now here, which can be enhanced on trait selection and acts as a general use ability rather than a niche option for sometimes reviving an ally or finishing a downed enemy. I think the way that Arrow put it was that Scrapper becomes more unkillable now.
Right, yeah, because it adds versatility to function gyro that it doesn't have right now. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of nice. Mm-hmm. I'm sure people said Scrapper got gutted though, so I'm sure it gets worse.
I don't play Scrapper. It's a spec that I've never really understood.
I played it before it was cool.
So it is insane currently, and it's I think just not gonna go away.
It's a god tier healer right now.
It is very good. Heal Scrapper is very strong.
Yeah. It's not very boony, but you can just heal through any shortcomings your party has, pretty much.
I know that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yes. And the thing that I just don't know. I'm confused.
We did have, so I was playing a lot of WW last week, right? We did have this scrapper who was hanging out at this one camp.
Uh huh.
We just couldn't kill him.
No,
Like, yeah, just unkillable.
you
Like
can't.
there's
You
like
can't
three
kill
of us.
them.
Yeah, just three of us hammering on him, everything we had, and he was just running around the camp. We just stopped going to that camp because what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah. Grandmaster Adaptive Armor trait no longer gives barrier when struck. Instead, it increases the barrier received by 15%. So this is kind of like the flavor of this patch. I feel like they're taking away a core thing, and yet they're adding back a similar use
Well, here's
from the
the
core
that that
thing that
so
I'm just kind of like, so
here's the
I don't
thing.
how is this
So
necessary?
that trait used to give you barrier, right?
Yes.
Now it gives you no barrier.
No,
It
but it
increases
increases the
barrier
barrier that
you
you
may get.
receive, so just go play with Scourges. In addition to reducing Condi damage by 20% while you have a barrier.
Again, but you don't get barrier anymore. So it's functionally useless. I'm sure you get barrier somewhere else, maybe, but it's a bummer, basically.
Kinetic Stabilizer. The trait no longer is triggered by function gyro. Instead, it increases the duration of stuns and effects by 20%, 25%. It also grants stability and super speed when disabling foe. There was another super speed thing where they took super speed in and then they gave you a movement. Or was that later in the Mesmers? I don't know. I feel like I'm just getting the confusion factor. Like I don't understand like what they're thinking with these balances.
I never played Scrapper meta. Like I
Mhm.
never played with gyros. I never used I never used a lot of the correct things that people would normally use on Scrapper. So I can't really talk about like heal Scrapper or anything like that. Um, so I'm sure because I all I've been hearing all week is how dirty they did Scrapper. Um, I can't read that out of these because I'm not a Scrapper player,
Right.
but I'm sure it's bad, you know.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, taking a trait that used to give you barrier, especially Grandmaster, and making it so it doesn't give you barrier anymore.
It sucks.
Yeah, that's
It just sucks. It's like what? Why?
that's bad. Because those barrier traits, those are traits that I would run on Scrapper when I played it in PvP.
Barrier, since it has been introduced in Path of Fire, is OP. And any class that gets access to barrier, it's just amazing. Anything that gives you barrier, like thank you. I've got an extra little bit of. I feel like a necromancer. I've got a little bit of more of a health pool.
Barrier is a better version of healing because
Yes.
you can pre-heal people. You can heal someone before they even get hit. Like, yeah, it's better healing.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And I admit, Scrapper had access to a lot of it. Like when I played Scrapper in PvP back in like October 2018, I ran all barrier traits and then Condi damage off pistols for with elixir buffs.
Uh huh.
But it wasn't a meta build. It was fun though,
Right.
because you were super tanky and you could do decently high DPS at the same time. Like it was fun, but it was tanky because of all the barrier.
Well,
That's
yeah.
why it was because Scrapper is OP for barrier, and now it's not going to be. So that's cool.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, Guardians. What are they doing with Guardians? Symbols. Various trait lines are being shifted around in order to create a better tiered trait option. Okay, Retribution trait in Radiance had a lot of power and was crowding out other options. So we're transferring this power over to Zeal. Okay?
Okay.
Along with a few other trait reworks to make that type of damage bonus more reliable. Reliable is another of their words. So while most symbols will become more powerful as a result of these changes, we're taking special care with Symbol of Punishment due to its low recharge. Do we know Symbol of Punishment, people?
Scepter 2, right?
Scepter 2.
Yeah.
So, what's happening to Symbol of Punishment? Let's go down here. Lowered the damage of extra strikes by 25% in PvE.
Here's because Symbol of Punishment, they changed where it's not individual strikes anymore. Like, it is individual strikes, but it stacks burst damage instead of being individual hits. So you're just going to see your burst damage stack lower, basically.
Is this,
yeah.
I mean, and the question that I've been asking people, so Meteor Shower, this is what we do? I don't know.
Yeah, I play Dragon Hunter DPS,
Yes.
right? So I feel it. It takes a bit of a hit. It gives us a bit of a raid DPS hit because Dragon Hunter's nice on DPS.
It's very nice in DPS.
It's very nice in fractals because of how quick the kills are. Like if you take 2 DHs in fractals, just shred through everything. So it kind of sucks, but you still got Great Sword and Procession of Blades and stuff. So
we're tuning up a few Dragon Hunter skills and traits to both improve their use cases and clarify their descriptions.
I haven't read these yet. Did they roast Procession of Blades? Is it over?
No, they didn't even mention it.
Sweet.
So, it's like, okay.
Perfect.
So overall, a little reduction in crit chance, and you just, it's not going to affect. I feel like Guardian is still going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You might have some gear changes, but it's going to be fine.
One skill changes in the end of the world, you're still going to be able to pull perfectly fine DPS out of Dragon Hunter.
I think so, yes. It's not going to be bad.
Yeah.
Josh says balance patches scare me because my NA brain isn't developed enough to understand them. It's hard enough to get enough nutrients when your diet is 75% Crayola. That is like the best maybe response ever.
Yeah. There a few weeks ago, Enviously TV on Tea Time made the statement that NA North American players eat crayons.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's just been a great meme.
It is a great meme. Yeah. Dude, my Crayola diet, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, Mesmer. The thing that let's piss Miko off now. Revisiting Chronomancer specialization and adding a trade-off in the form of Chronomancer shatters. This word trade-off, I hate them. These shatters behave differently than core Mesmer shatters and gain extra properties in exchange for requiring more planning to use properly. Right.
So you can't turn off your brain anymore. Chronos are now your brain.
Chronos are always big brains. You kind of have to know what the frick you're doing.
But now an NA big brain won't cut it.
I'm gonna have to change from Crayolas to like fiber or something. I don't know. Yeah. Furthermore, we're reducing the number of shatters from 5 back down to 4 in order to match the other Mesmer specializations. So what are they doing? Remember Continuum Shift F5, the thing that they introduced with Heart of Thorns? Continuum Shift. This skill now replaces Distortion in the F4 slot instead of taking the F5 slot.
So they killed Distortion for Chronos.
Yes.
Oh, no.
However, let's read on. Additionally, it applies 1 second of Distortion. Do you know what this is? When cast, duration has been rescaled based on the number of clones to 3, 4.5, and 6 seconds. Which is then leading to my question of, does this distortion also last longer? Because if CS is lasting longer based on the number of clones you've got up, I want more distortion. Now, why is this a problem? Because Chronos use distort to save or block or evade. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And Continuum Split either for DPS increases or to split your elite skills for strategic purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I now have to do this in one instead of 2.
Yeah, you have to waste your Continuum Split.
I have to waste my Continuum Split.
Which you're not going to do. So essentially,
no,
you have to rely on another class.
I can't distort.
You have to rely on another class now for those saves.
This is not really an issue unless you tank on Chrono.
But everybody tanks on Chrono.
But everybody tanks on Chrono.
Yeah. So yeah, now you're gonna have to, because you're not gonna wait. Continuum split. I don't play Chrono, but everyone knows Continuum split is integral to your rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not just gonna faff about and fucking blow your.
This kind of comes on the last thing that they fucked with was Blurred Frenzy, where they lowered the evade frame time on Blurred Frenzy. This is Sword 2. This was integral to like being able to stay still and not have your boss move when you've got things like teleports spawning underneath your feet.
Mm-hmm.
So it then made Blurred Frenzy a little bit less reliable. You had to time it really, really close to before that.
Oh, is VG going to be a dance party now that we can't?
So, well, now Distortion is in my rotation as one of my blocks because it gives me evade frames. I'll probably have to dodge backwards into the wall a bit more now, which is annoying because I have to save my CC with Continuum Split. So I mean, I was already like trying to figure this out in the past couple of Thursday, Friday. Like, okay, I can't distort, so how am I going to do this? So I've got to like make sure that my swaps are off cooldown, that my shield block is up. Am I going to have to take sword instead of focus so that and then let someone else be worrying about pulling the seekers off? Druids, make sure your glyph of tides are equipped.
So in lieu of Chrono not having just such free access to distort anymore, what is the solution in a raid scenario? Because like Chrono's obviously primarily a raid class, right? Everyone knows that. So that's clearly what the devs are thinking of when they change Chrono.
Oh, right? Yeah. You know, and I mean, to be fair, this change had been rumored to be coming for months. And when they didn't put it in the previous 1 or 2 balance patches, I was like, all right, maybe they've decided not to go this route. Now they've done it, and I'm like, why you do this to me? So yeah, I mean, we'll adapt because that's what we do, but yeah, I'm gonna be happy about it.
Because it almost seems like
they took away our distortion share, which used to be super useful for skipping greens or eating slams on Gorseval, for example. And then that went away.
Well, they called it a trade-off. It's not a trade-off though, because you could, if you wanted to distort and continuum split, you could just do that before. Whereas now you can't. It's a hard nerf. It's not even a trade-off.
So, and then here's my other thing. Like these shatters, the new form of Chronomancer shatters, to make them more distinguishable from core Mesmer shatters. Split second. The skill replaces Mind Rack, which is a DPS shatter, and inherits traits from Mind Rank. Okay. The skill deals damage for each clone shattered with additional bonus damage when striking slowed foes. So you have to make sure that you're applying slow, which happens. You
don't usually make a point of doing during a raid.
Well, right? You can, yes, depending on which wells you take or whatever through different skills. Yeah.
Yeah, skill usage. The boss is gonna have pretty much every condition under the sun on them anyway.
So, Rewinder. The skill replaces and inherits traits from Cry of Frustration. Again, another damage one, and it deals confusion, which it was doing before. And recharges itself by 5 seconds for each clone shattered. Okay. So I'm not sure, like, these two don't feel all that different. This one, Time Sink, inherits traits from Diversion. It still dazes, so you're still doing the same thing. And applies 2 seconds of slow for each clone shattered. So this can be a CC. This shatter here, Diversion, is often a CC shatter. So now you can do F3 and then F1, right? Because you're slowing, and then you're getting bonus damage from slowing. So I'm all right with these three,
Hmm.
but but this
Hmm.
is not yeah, it's the thing that made me upset. I would expect, and it's something that I've seen other mesmers mention, um, mirages. If you think you're going to be getting away with not having to worry about your shutters getting changed in futures, prepare thyself. Because
Yeah.
I think this is just leading us to assume that those changes are coming as well to make them different
Also,
and more meaningful.
we talk about the fact that they took away the evade frames from Chronomancer when Mirage is the one that gets evade frames for fucking free. That just hit me like a wall, right? Like I'm NA brain. It took me a long time to get there, but I just reached that conclusion. I'm like, what? Oh
I
no.
mean,
Yeah.
I could, you know what would solve this problem?
Just deleting Mesmer. Yeah.
She's leading Chrono. Um, yeah, I mean, are we going to start seeing base mesmer tanks? Because they'll still have distortion. I don't know.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah, base. Oh no, dude. Base class meta. The core raid meta.
Which actually would
Ah.
be kind of interesting. But let's
Does
move
anybody
Miko.
ever run a core class only raid tournament before?
Core class only raid tournament. No, that not that I can think of.
Start it. TyriaNow core class raid tournament, guys. We're starting it now. It's a special event, and it's
Special event.
already better than anything ArenaNet has done for their bonus
Now
event week. We will
the
give away
the
5 gold.
the viability comp
Hmm.
that Snowcores was running earlier this year, they would bring in some core classes just because they would roulette it.
Hmm.
Um, so
Like they
we
would just pick random ones
yeah,
for the
and
lulz.
core classes would sometimes get thrown into the mix. So which would spice things up because the damage on core classes is not as high as on the elites.
Hmm. Yeah, it'll. But I mean, if you're a good player, you're a good player, though, right?
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, we will. We'll do a core class raid tournament. The prize will be 20 gold. Okay.
20
And
gold.
here's the best part, though. That's still better than raid rewards, so it's still
Oh,
worth doing.
shut up. We didn't talk about the raid reward change. Oh, let's not. Let's just not make me. Okay. Don't trigger me, man. All right. These changes are interesting. Flow of time. These are trait changes. Alacrity increase per clone shattered. Thank you. Seize the moment quickness. Thank you again. Meh, 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 meh. It's just this. This right here is the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So yeah.
Inwardly increased alacrity. Huh.
Yeah.
So those are increases, though. Isn't that good?
Yeah. Master of Fragmentation. Here, they're just gonna screw us. Due to the changes in Chronomancer shatter skills, this trait no longer inflicts slow when continuum shift is activated. Instead, it adds projectile reflection to distortion in the same way it does for Core Mesmer. Okay.
Hey, that'll be great on
Karen.
What's his face? Slothosaur. You can
Slothazor.
be a Slothosaur main now.
Just why, man?
Gutted on every boss. Boom.
Oh, okay, yes, we're gonna have to be thinking through things a little bit more carefully now. I just want to shoot them. All right, rant over. Moving on. Necromancer. Reapers are designed to be durable frontline fighters. Yes, the Soul Eater trait is providing a little bit too much survivability. What? So we're removing the ability for this trait to heal while in Shroud.
Well, that's no fun.
No.
I don't
Also
know.
making changes to the core Deathman.
Is core I know like it can be a fun build to run. Is core necro a problem anywhere?
No, not that I
Why
can
nerf
think of.
it if it's a problem?
Yes. Hi, thank you. That's my question. These changes are aimed at improving the uptime of shroud skills to put them more in line with their elite specialization counterparts. Are we going to start seeing? See, this is the thing. It's like they're trying to push people away. It feels like they're trying to push people away from the elite specs.
Okay, and Chad is saying
power creep.
they want expansions, so they want the elite specs to be better. They still are. Like in okay, maybe I don't understand how Guild Wars works, but if I'm not mistaken, Reaper is still better than Core Necro. Like even with X, Y, and Z trait, Reaper's still better, right? Scourge is still better. Am I crazy or is that true?
No, that's true. I mean,
okay, thank God.
The money skill on Reaper Shroud is 4 spin to win.
Plus just quick.
In cores, Shroud 4 is basically leech people's health and kill them. Suck to win. It's an awesome skill. And then in Scourge, barrier, damage, or save your friends.
Yeah, Scourge is self-explanatory. I mean, even in I don't play a ton of PvP, right? But like, you don't see core necros running around in PvP. You know, like.
No, I'm genuinely confused by this.
Yeah. Why do you got to do the 5 people in the game playing core necro? Why you got to do them dirty?
the free to play players.
Yeah.
Who then want to? Oh God, I don't know. All right, Ranger. I'm moving on here because it's just killing me. In this update, we've made some reductions to tone down the strength of some Soul Beast PvP and World v World builds. Pardon me, but didn't they do this already?
Partition down.
Yeah, I mean they've done this already with like the Boon Beast build.
They gutted stances a little bit, like 3 or 4 patches ago.
No, it was like 1 or 2 patches ago. It wasn't that long ago because I remember us going, well, we saw this coming.
Yeah. I mean, stances are still good, but they're like Boon Beast definitely isn't like the massive troll that it used to be.
No.
Like they basically gave it the treatment where like you actually have to think about your rotation now instead of just face rolling your keyboard.
Yeah.
I guess it's worse though.
Here's the thing. A shout skill. Sick'em, which is in Power Soul Beast.
Oh, I play Sick'em Roamer in WW.
Yeah, well, say goodbye to some of your damage because it's going away.
It should. Sick'em is a broken skill, and it should
not
work as it does with Soul Beast.
So there you go.
Yeah, it should not work that way. It's very stupid. I should not be able to do 50k rapid fires on anybody.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
This reduction only occurs while merged with your pet. So, hey, there you go. Don't merge with your pet.
I mean, Soul Beast is still gonna it's still gonna be
good.
Sick'em Roamer isn't even that good of a build. Like unless you have the drops on somebody, you're probably not gonna win, right? But it's just the fact that you can peek out from around a corner and have somebody dead inside of 0.5 seconds is stupid. So Sick'em definitely needed a nerf.
40% to 25. That's pretty significant.
It is, yeah. And here's the thing, though: you still be able to pull big numbers with it.
Yeah.
25% damage increase is still significant
because this is happening. The damage bonus for pets remains unchanged.
Yeah. And I don't know if people druids maybe use Sick'em to boost pet damage. I don't imagine so, though. You probably need other utilities on druid. The main purpose of Sick'em right now is to merge with your pet and get the damage bonus for yourself. But I mean, 25% is still nice. It's still a nice damage bonus, honestly. You'll still be able to hit like I do a Marauder Berserker mix Sick'em Roamer right now. And I pull average with food and full buffs and Sick'em a 30k rapid fire. Probably go down to like 24, right? That's still a ton of damage. So
here's another one that just added confusion to my life.
Okay.
Hang on. I've got to make sure that I'm right. Okay. I was just making sure. So light on your feet. This trait now also grants its damage bonus when dodging using quick shot. So quick shot is short bow 3.
I don't play shortbow and ranger, but I believe you.
Shortbow is a Condi weapon, Condi Ranger weapon, Condi Soul Beast weapon.
Yeah, the infinite shortbow setup.
Quick shot is the skill that you don't want to hit
Oh, okay.
because it throws you backwards.
Yeah, it just takes you out of the stack.
Yep. Or if you're on a platform or someplace high or someplace near a ledge, can shoot you through your death. Shoot you to your death.
It's free evade frames though, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so it's not. It's a PvP skill basically.
I just okay.
What did they do to it?
The trait light on your feet now also grants a damage bonus when dodging using quick shot.
Damage bonus when dodging.
Mm-hmm.
So that almost exclusively apply to latently stacking burst damage and Condi ticks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people that.
I don't know either. But here's the thing that a lot of druids were unhappy with. Ancestral Grace is staff 3, which is your zippy skill. And when you combo it with staff 5, gives you nice healing, area healing. But what the nice zippiness about it is that it would evade. It had evade frames in it. Yeah, no more.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And on top of that, they're increasing its cooldown.
I mean, to be fair, Druid I don't believe is any sort of meta in PvP or roaming in WW. But if you know what you're doing on it, it is a very strong troll.
Now, but this is not really. Is this all? This is. They're not saying here that it's PvP only.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is this messes with how you play Druid at raid?
It can.
Okay. Because I was thinking of it from a PvP standpoint. Right. Sometimes people will run a Druid node bunker.
Uh-huh.
It's not common, but it does happen.
Yes.
And that's part of their deal, right? But yeah, I can see how this would, because evade frames are really important in raids, so could be an issue.
It's just an odd one.
Chat saying they didn't even know I had evade frames. Pro Druid.
Yeah.
Didn't even know about the evade frames.
All right. But yeah, so, and Sublime Conversion now grants regen. Thank you. Another regen source for druids, because they don't have enough of that. So yes, I don't know. I just... Cooldowns on longbow.
What happened to the cooldowns on longbow?
Barrage, longbow 5, reduced the recharge from 30 to 20. Lowered cripple duration by 1.5 seconds to 1. Increased the damage by 25% though.
They increased the damage by 25%? Uh-huh. Wow, that's interesting. Because nobody takes Barrage for the cripple. Barrage is basically a pulsing damage AoE. That's what Barrage is for. I use it to clear out camps instantaneously in World v World. So it's a buff to the skill, I think.
I think you're right.
I don't think anybody cares about a half a second cripple. Maybe SPVPers, but nobody cares about them, right?
Clarion Bond, which is a trait that I love so much. The unblockable boon provided by the skill now lasts for the next 2 attacks within 5 seconds, instead of all attacks within the next 3 seconds. This is in marksmanship, I believe.
I mean, unblockable is definitely...
But it's an unblockable boon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It was needed because unblockable was part of the thing that was making Soul Beast such a insta-kill machine.
Yeah.
Because, what do you do on a Dragon Hunter, for example, when you suddenly start taking a bunch of damage? You pop your block virtue or you pop your scepter or focus 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Soul Beast could just zip right through that. So if it's only 2 attacks, it kind of gives people a fighting chance, while still allowing you to dump some damage out on someone.
Will it give them a fighting chance, though? I don't know.
It should.
It should.
Mm-hmm. Because that opening 5 seconds, basically the strat on Soul Beast power is to pop on Quickening Zephyr and Sikkim,
Mm-hmm.
F5 into your pet, and get the unblockable, and just rapid fire anybody you want to 0. Right. So if people have a chance to throw up a block, then it kind of does give them a shot.
So Longbow 4, the skill that everyone hates you for using,
Mhm.
because it's the knockback one, now scales the knockback distance dynamically between a range of 100 and 600 based on the distance from the target.
So instead of having thresholds,
Yeah.
it'll do an exact mathematical equation to determine exactly how much knockback you get.
Which begs the question, why wasn't this a thing always? Because the most annoying thing about blank shot would be, or point blank shot, was that it could throw things out into Egypt, which is handy, but
as far
sometimes not so much.
as far as skill design, it's much easier to set 3 thresholds than it is to make an algorithm that scales that dynamically, right? So it was just easier to do it the
I
old way.
guess.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that they changed it though.
Yeah. I don't know.
Again, point blank shot it's nice when you're dueling someone to like interrupt them. I use it to interrupt.
Yes, to interrupt. It's a great interrupt.
Yeah, but I don't know. Nobody likes point blank shot, right?
No, everyone hates that skill.
Yeah.
Except rangers who love it because we can go whoop. Right,
Yeah.
Revenant. Now here's where okay, reworked Sword Skill 5 from Grasping Shadow to Death Strike. We also carried over the slow and chill conditions it inflicted. However, since Death Strike is a damage skill rather than a control skill like Grasping Shadow, we're removing this component because it muddies the new purpose of the skill.
What skill is that? Like
Sword Skill 5.
okay.
When we reworked it from Grasping Shadow to Death Strike.
That's the one that pulls someone to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't play sword. I play sword shield like a nub.
Sorry. Isn't it because you have that shield that was really cool?
Yeah, Glint's Bastion. I just like the shield look. I don't know. I like it.
No, I mean, hey. Um, you know, here, I don't play enough Revenant to care.
I don't play I don't play
This
Revenant.
is
It's my
this
least played class easily.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't play enough Revenant to care about these changes.
For speed, the skill now increases your movement speed by 50%. Reduce. That's literally what super speed does, though.
Yes. Yes. You see what I'm saying? It's like these odd things.
Reduce the damage of the secondary strike on impossible odds by 19% in PvP only. Okay, so like impossible odds, it's like the dwarven hammers. It just stacks damage passively.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a 19% hit to that, basically. That kind of sucks. But it's kind of needed because Revenant is way too powerful in PvP combat right now. Like the damage is just it's stupid. If you meet a like for instance, when I'm roaming Worldly World, if I meet a Revenant, I slash sleep. There's no point in trying to fight. It's over. It's over. Like there's no
you have a response. I'm gonna RP you. Just please kill me.
Yeah, exactly. I just wait for it to be over because it's quicker than trying to fight and inevitably losing. Yeah, I don't know a ton about Revenant skills because I don't play it. I just get killed by it.
So Deo is trying to make us be good podcasters here, or me at least. Unyielding Anguish. Right, the last two are kind of intriguing, but Phone's got my point right there. If you play Revenant, go read the notes. I honestly don't. I'm like I don't care.
Unyielding Anguish. The skill has been See, I wish they would be like Sword 2. I wish they would call it that. I don't know the names of the skills.
I don't know the name.
All right.
My problem with a lot of Revenant skills, I'm going to be honest here. I cannot distinguish them because their icons fucking look the same.
Okay? They do. Yeah, they do.
They are too indistinguishable from each other no matter what weapons you slot because their color schemes and their graphic designs are too similar. Whereas every other class has distinguishable skill icons. Revenant, no. Why? Because reasons.
Also, all of the Revenant skills are named very similar edgy things. that
Edgy.
I
Edgy is a good word for them. Yes.
yeah, like grasping shadow and
Embrace the darkness.
unyielding anguish, embrace the darkness. Like
It's now a
those might as
mobile
well
dark
all be the
field.
same skill. All right. Because this just turned into a Revenant roast. We're reading the ballot,
No, I just I
and
can't
now we're just
even.
roasting Revenant. It's
All
good.
right, moving on because this is the thing. I told you guys
Yeah.
we're not theory crafters. I'm just gonna bitch. All right, thief. Now here's something that I'm not gonna bitch about because well maybe I will. Traps, the thing that nobody takes
On Thief. Yeah.
on thief. They're replacing them with what? Preparations.
Ooh, from Guild Preparations are a
Yeah, you
ranger thing
remember
from Guild Wars
preparation
1.
exactly. And I went, oh, that's interesting.
Ignite arrows. I'll remember the sound of that skill until the day I die.
Exactly. So thieves are getting preparations. Now preparations were a thing that gave you basically DPS increases. However, on a thief, they're doing different things. Prepare pitfall. They're kind of ninja-y. This is the only way that I can describe them. Right? Prepare pitfall. This new skill will mark your current area with controlling magic, readying the location to crush enemies when released. And then when you unleash it, things fall on them and crush them, knocking them down,
Wait,
whatever.
things.
Yes.
Things fall on. What things?
I don't know, man.
It's like
You
a
can unleash
sofa.
your pitfall on an area, knocking down your foes and delivering constant damage over time. So
Things fall on them. They really write that?
No, it's just me being a
Oh,
troll.
okay. I thought they wrote that, and I was
No.
like, what does that mean?
No, it just says will unleash your pitfall on an area. So you're gonna get knockdown damage. I'll not be trolly. They're gonna knock down your foes, and you're gonna get damage over time, constant damage over time. Because knocking down foes sucks in this game. So let's do it.
Wait, why does knocking down foes suck?
Does it? Do you like to get knocked down?
Oh, I thought you meant knocking someone down is bad.
No, knocking someone down is fun. Getting knocked down sucks. So let's do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, prepare 1,000 needles. The skill will mark a current area with inhibiting magic, readying the location to poison enemies. And then what happens? Unleash a hail of needles that immobilizes enemies on impact and then strikes them over a period of time.
Have you ever seen
poison?
The movie?
So you're immobing and poisoning your enemies.
Have you ever seen the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yes.
The needle thing from that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tell me this isn't ninja.
This is pretty ninja.
This is pretty ninja. Seal area. The new skill will mark your current area with stifling magic, readying the location to seal enemies in. Right? Okay, fine. So what happens when you seal it? Block projectiles and prevent enemies from entering or leaving. You trap them.
These skills have some nice PvP connotations. Mm-hmm. You could even, hell, you could even get some nice, I don't know what, like, you bring on raids for utility, but you could get some nice break bar CC out of some of this.
Yeah. These are interesting. Okay, Shadow Portal. The new skill will mark your current location with shadow magic. Right? All right.
You're so excited about the shadow magic.
I'm excited about the shadow magic. The new skill will unleash shadow magic at your prepared location, creating a one-way portal that you and your allies can take. Why are they getting mesmer crap?
So they basically just gave them mesmer portal?
They gave them a portal.
That's interesting.
Yes.
That's good.
Allies traveling through the portal will be granted stealth.
So it's better portal.
Better portal. And foes around the portal's exit will be weakened. More better portal. The skill is split between game modes, allowing 5 allies in PvE and WW, while allowing only 1 ally in PvP. All right, that seems fair. So
how long can you have one side of the portal? Like, can you use it like mesmer portal?
It's one way, so you can only use it to go. You can't use it to come back. Like with the mesmer portal, you can go. You can continue to use it till it runs out.
Drop it and screw around for 5 minutes, and then, or before the skills recharge, rather. Like, do you have that amount of time to get to where you need to portal to?
With what? With Mesmer?
with thief?
Wait, I don't know.
Okay. I'm just wondering if it could
My,
seriously challenge.
and the thing about this portal that I would like to know, because it sounds really cool, is what is its range? Because the crazy range on Mesmer portal is like 5,000 units, which is really big. So how far is this gonna go before you can unleash?
You know, and I bet it wouldn't surprise me if there was a huge difference in range, but they didn't mention it in the patch notes because they don't know what's important in their own game.
I think they like to not put everything in and then catch people by surprise.
And chat says these just don't feel like thief skills.
No,
And
they're
what I my first thought is someone mentioned it later on in chat is that these are very assassin like from Guild Wars 1.
yes, they are. Thank you very much. So on top
And
of the fact that you're getting preparations from Guild Wars 1s, you're getting ninja assassin skills.
well, and my issue with thief has always been that thief is a stupid class name.
Thief
You
is
had
supposed to
assassin
be-
in your first game. Why not just have it in the next one?
And thief is the inheritor of assassin.
But why do they have to name it thief? Why can't it just be assassin again? It's more all encompassing.
I don't know.
Thief is much more
have to make a class that
pigeonholing.
reminds people of other MMOs. I don't know. Assassin isn't that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think they just kind of misstepped naming thief, and now it bothers us if something isn't thiefy.
Now
enough.
the thing about preparations that I'm a little so they're retiring the skills. The traits are not carrying over. Preparations will not be receiving a trait at this time and will instead be balanced as though they are traded already in Deadly Arts.
Like, okay, imagine this. Picture this. We had assassin instead of thief, right? Thief is the elite spec that gets released for assassin, and we get steal where we didn't have it before because you're a thief now. Hire me. I just turned a core spec into an elite spec. Give me money.
Give me. Okay.
Brilliant.
Anyways, so these preparations, I'm kind of intrigued. I want to see them.
Do you play thief?
No, I have 2 thieves.
Wow, two whole thieves.
I do. I have 2 of each class, except for Guardian, where I have 3, and I think that's it. But
I play a decent amount of thief. I don't play it in raid or fractal, but I play it.
No, I never play it. I have them there. They just sit there and collect dust.
I like farming on my Daredevil. Daredevil's a nice.
I have a Deadeye set up to kite Kadim, and I haven't kited Kadim on her yet.
Feels bad.
I mean, why? Because I get to chrono on her. On
Gotcha.
that fight. Anyways.
The chrono jail.
Yeah. All right. Well, trait changes, yada yada. Go read the patch notes. Warrior.
Yes, warrior. The most closely guarded, I think, of all the professions. Remember the meltdown people had about Berserker before?
We've heard your feedback and recognized that the damage has been lower than expected for the amount of investment involved. Great. Okay. Berserker's getting tuned up again.
Because right now, if I'm not mistaken, Berserker Warrior in general is not competitive as far as PvE DPS, right?
You kind of can go Core Warrior to get a little bit more DPS out. You can go Power Berserker to get more DPS out.
Power Berserker. That's so stupid.
It's a bit oxymoronic.
Yeah. Okay.
So, here we go. So, tuning up some Berserker skills and traits to give these builds a little more power and longer windows to stay in Berserk mode. Okay. There was one here, Headbutt. This is a nice CC. Yeah. Which applied. The skill now removes all stacks of stability when casting and does 50% more damage if stability is removed. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's kind of...
I mean, it doesn't change how you play the class. It just basically means Headbutt does a crap load more damage. Because everybody does the stability skill and then Headbutt. That's the chain that you run with that. So they basically you just get a free massive damage buff to Headbutt. Damage. Yeah.
Free mo damage. So, here's a class that I never feel like gets ever really nerfed. No matter, it's just always is stable. It's the most stable, I think, class in the history of the game.
I mean, they called it a rework last balance patch, but it was a nerf for Berserker.
But it was still okay.
It's a nerf for Condi Berserker, I
Right.
guess.
But it was still like okay.
It's still fine. Yeah, like Ellie and Warrior are the two classes I think that are just always fine.
Yeah. All right.
That was exhausting.
That was exhausting. I need to stop eating crayons, I guess. I don't know.
You need to upgrade to wall insulation.
I just genuinely feel that on some of them I'm like, what? Why? I don't understand the thinking behind it, and I just honestly don't see how it's going to make things more meaningful. I can see how some things are going to be more meaningful since that's their word du jour. And then as a Chronomancer main, Mesmer main, I just want to kill him.
But
I'll adapt and things will be fine, and maybe I'll get out of Chrono Jail, but I doubt it.
I would like if I could ever have an interview with an ArenaNet person. First question: What do you guys consider as meaningful in game balance?
I'd like to know what that word means.
That word, you keep saying it.
Give me the ArenaNet definition of the word meaningful, please.
Yes.
Okay.
And chat does make a good point. Wooden Potatoes just by himself spends 2 hours on these balance patch changes, but he actually understands all of them.
Yeah. I mean, he's not from NA, so he doesn't eat crayons.
That's true. Yeah, his EU brain has a higher capacity for balance-related information.
All right, moving on. All right, so balance patch coming on Tuesday. Prepare thyselves. Go cry in a corner if you want. If they're gonna be fine with your class, then hey, be happy. And if you're a thief main and you want to check out those preparations, please let us know because I know I will be.
Releasing a whole new set of utilities under a different utility subtype. Basically, just get it's like releasing an elite spec almost, but I don't know.
We'll see. Because they could be really crap, and that it's just another of like, well, we didn't take traps before, and we're still not taking these.
Watch them be garbage. Oh no!
I mean, they sound really cool on paper. They sound cool. I would like to see them, but they sound cool. So points on coolness sounding.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right, that leaves us with the gem story.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, guys.
We already talked about the chair,
the Inquest Overseer Chair Glider combo, 900 gems. 900 gems.
900 gems. Have you seen this thing?
No, but hang on a second. Yes, actually, I've seen screenshots of it because one of my friends loved it to death when it got data mined, and so. I'm going to show this off now here. Look at that.
This is one of the most depressing items I've ever seen in the whole game.
I mean, it themes, they've got this whole Inquest exosuit stuff. They've got the skins for the mounts. They've got weapons, Black Lion skins as well. So, I mean, it's got this whole thematic thing that if you're in a Asura main, because there are people out there who are Asura mains, and they like this look and want a unified theme around it, hey, let's just open up their purse strings.
It's so... This is objectively the coolest chair in the whole game. There's no competition, right? It's the best one.
It's a cool chair. It floats, so they've taken that... well, they didn't do that.
And it is a meaningless item on the gem store.
It floats.
It means nothing.
They took the chair from Wing 7, the Raid Wing 7, it floats in the air, right? The floaty cake chair.
Yeah.
So they took that tech and they applied it to a gem store item because it floats as well.
But what bothers me about this is the raid reward chair for Wing 7 is awful. It looks terrible. Then they give us this pimpin' ass chair that you just swipe your credit card for in the gem store, and it actually is meaningless. That's so depressing. I didn't buy it. It looks great. It's the best looking chair in the game, and I'm not going to buy it because it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
It's nothing. Like, you might as well not have a chair. It's nothing. It's meaningless. Did you buy it?
No.
Thank God. Thank God. Everyone in chat is like, I bought it already. I'm like, oh no, guys, don't do this to yourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then before that, we got the Skyscale Ascension mount pack.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good deal. 5 mount skins for 2,000 gems, I think, is a good deal.
I will show you this in a second because I need to get the link.
There's only really 2 of them that are worth looking at. They actually don't have a gallery of every skin on the website.
Which really depressed me.
Yeah, I miss Dolphy so much. She made podcasting so easy.
We need people to step up and be Delphi substitutes. But these are the skins, the Skyscale ones. Objectively, the one that I think is the coolest is the branded one. Because the branded skins always look the coolest, in my opinion.
I actually think that one, the dark blue one with the shiny horns, is cooler. But the branded one does look good, but the other 3 are negligible. But there's two good skins in there.
I feel like the others suffered from the same thing that the Warclaw skins suffered from, in that they don't look that different from the base skin. You're just getting more die channels on what essentially looks almost like the base skin.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I didn't buy this amount pack. I'm very disillusioned with the gem store right now. I don't really buy anything on it anymore. I don't need like again, they don't mean anything. Like, I'm at the point in the game where I want the things on my account to bear meaning behind them, and stuff off the gem store doesn't.
Right.
So I don't really buy it anymore. So yeah, I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to buy the chair. I'm probably not going to buy anything on the store for a while. Yeah, the gem store, guys, it really depresses me. It really bums me out.
It bums me out that the thing that most people have been asking for are ways to get skins, mount skins in game, and not happening.
No,
well, I mean,
because no one who would buy mount skins on the store if you could get them in game? Some people.
And I've made this point before, and I can't remember if it was on this podcast or a different one, but we had the same complaint about glider skins. And look at how many glider skins are in the game and how many you own.
And the only reason that we have gliders in the game at all is because of legendary back pieces. There's never going to be a legendary mount, right? There's not even rarity on mounts. So you'll never have an in-game mount skin. It's not going to happen. Yeah, and that depresses me because I like playing the game and earning things in the game, right? Like, I enjoy that. And the way they're going with the gem store is seriously prohibiting that. I could spend 900 gems. That's like, what, $11 and get a sick chair, or I could put my heart and soul into beating Wing 7 and I could get the worst chair in the whole game. You know?
I got my Doom chair finally.
You got the gold pile?
No, not the gold pile. The Doom chair.
Oh, the Doom chair. Very cool. Yeah. And that's the one I use because
that I cared the most about was the Doom chair.
Yeah, well, because I like that one because you can get it in game, and yes, I bought it on the trading post, but I still got it in game, right?
Yeah, I got it in game. I got it off of Glenado.
Yeah, and it's that reward bears some, even if it just means like, oh, I spent some gold.
The Doom chair became meaningless because it was tradable on the trading post.
And I don't think that's meaningless. It has gold value behind it. It's like, not everyone can scrape 500 gold.
But as a raid reward, it should have been raid exclusive. Sure,
but it's better than, and I get that anything can get with gold. You can swipe your credit card for it. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to, when I play the game, I have to pretend that people can't do that, or else I need to quit the game. Yeah. Basically, I have to close my mind off from the fact that you can buy gold. or else I get too depressed and I have to go play Harry Potter Lego Creator.
Speaking of Harry Potter, have you picked up Wizards Unite?
I am not.
Dude.
Is it good stuff?
It's pretty good. If you did Pokemon Go at all,
I did not.
You might dig this one.
I don't play games on my phone.
I never really cared about Pokemon Go because I wasn't invested in the whole Pokemon experience. But Harry Potter, good things. Anyway, that's not about Tyria.
And Twitch chat does know how to set me off, saying you can buy gem store stuff with gold, so it's the same thing. It's not, and everybody knows that. But I hate it when people use that excuse. They're like, "Oh, but you can just gems to gold, or you can gold to gems. It's totally fair." And it's like, dude, you can buy game currency. That ruins the entire integrity of the game. But whatever.
Anyway, I don't think we were intending to end on a downer note, but we kind of got sad.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to How the Gem Store Makes Me Feel.
How the Gem Store Makes Me Feel. Yeah. I mean, the one thing that we haven't really talked about during the show is the vocal contingent of top players who are now leaving the game.
Jaw just quit. Yeah.
Right. Jaw just quit. Teapot's talking about leaving. So it's like, yeah, man, this makes me sad.
Teapot's depression streams are escalating.
They really are. I love his streams, and lately I'm much like, oh, are you going to be bitching today? I can't watch. Well, not because I want PMA stream. It's just like, I just want to watch you play.
Well, and if you listen to Tea Time, the show's been the same show for about 6 weeks now.
Yeah, I know.
Just every week talking about the same problems with the game, and it's like, the depression is manifesting.
It really is. It's sad. We need something to make the depression go away. I mean, I know we've been through these troughs in the game's history. So hopefully this one will end soon.
Hey, we got season,
When's season 5 coming? I am waiting for that.
Like, I'm not going to quit the game. I'll always be, doing something in it.
Yeah.
Even, sometimes I dial back my play hours. Sure. But I'm not with the game.
I still love this game. I still play it every day.
I can understand Teapot quitting, though, because he's done. He's done with the game. He's done everything.
Sure, he is.
Yeah, the only thing he's holding out for is an AT. Yeah. So I can understand stopping playing when you're literally done,
All right, guys.
I think we're literally done with this episode.
We are, because we're waffling big time now.
Yeah.
And that's all right. All right. So our next show will be in 2 weeks. That will be the 27th of July.
Man, July is a long month.
I mean, we're only into the second week of it.
I know, and it feels like we're at the end of July. We're not, remotely.
No, we're not.
Not even halfway through.
No, I know.
July's a hell of a time, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and Josh, that's a good point. The huge amount of discontent comes from the uncertainty, and yes, I agree. All right, so next show will be on July 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, here on twitch.tv/TyriaNow. And if you want to follow us, you can hit that follow button up there. You can subscribe to our individual Twitter accounts if you like. Inky Sticks everywhere. He's Guild Wars Monk everywhere. You can follow our Twitter feed. It's TyriaNow. Our YouTube channel, TyriaNow as well. Links are below. If you ever have any comments that you want to share with us on either a show or something that's happening in game, you can always email us or tweet at us or DM us. Our email is also below, tyrianow@gmail.com. But yeah, so I think that wraps up our episode. Yep. Thanks everyone for coming out. Appreciate you guys. And we will see you next time.
Yep. See you guys.
Good night, everyone.